What's up guys, Joe here with Tradger Farms. Hope everyone is having a good day. We are out picking up the dogs from the groomer. So hopefully they're nice and fluffy and pretty for you. And then we'll be heading back, talking about a little bit of our upcoming activities. All right, we are back. Hopefully you can hear us okay. Got a little AC and a little window action for you-know-who, Traxxon Badger here. But we're on our way home this weekend. Looking forward to getting out over. My mom lives on the west side of Michigan, kind of that Allegan state game area, if you guys are familiar with that at all. It's a huge area, and if you follow different groups on social media from Michigan, they usually take quite a few nice deer from around that area. I'm fairly inexperienced with the area. I did have a non-cell camera out last year, and it had a nice buck here and there. Nothing too crazy, honestly, but because it wasn't a cell cam, I didn't get to really keep tabs on it too much. Didn't even check it, I think, till after the season. So we're gonna go back this weekend, show you guys a spot or two that I'm looking at. I got one cell cam, and I have probably two or so non-cell cams, but at least we'll get a little bit more active, intel. I got one more reveal to set up from Tactacam, and I got a solar panel for it too, so should run pretty much for the foreseeable future without any battery issues. So I've definitely had most clients that we talk about with those reveals. They have, by far the majority of people say they have pretty good success with them and not too many issues. I do have one that's in another state that isn't doing very well. It hasn't checked in a month. I'm debating on using that extra. There's like an extra plan. It gives you unlimited video and unlimited, like HD photos and stuff. But it also allows you to do like a manual picture or check-in. And I'm wondering if that might kind of force it to check in and get some pictures going. But there's no way no deer have walked in front of the camera for over a month now. The support, they didn't really have any other ideas for me except for resetting the whole thing, but the camera being 10 hours away, not something I can do, so that's kind of unfortunate. Everything else seems to be working pretty dang good. So other than that, little doctor's appointment. I have something in my leg that's got pressure that they want to rule out a blood clot, so we're going to look at that real quick, make sure we're staying healthy so we can walk around. And I have an elk hunt in Montana in October, so hoping that we're not going to have any issues when that rolls around. But yeah, I will check back in, and we're going to take a look at some stand locations that I've already previously scouted. I know I want to put cameras there, but I just haven't yet, so we'll get some intel and do that here shortly. Say hi, everyone. All right, so we made it to public land. Labor Day weekend here. You guys can see over to my left, we have a lot of a burned area, and we're within a mile from the trailhead in this national forest. So the theory here is that people are going to come in, they're going to see these clear cuts, pretty much general knowledge that that's going to thicken up. There's quite a bit of acorns actually on the ground. So without a doubt, there will be some deer movement in here, and I'm sure they'll be bedding, but I think a lot of them will be pushed out. It's easy access, and these deer will be blown further and deeper into the woods. So it is still an option to have a camera up. Things have thickened in some areas, and there's a little more logging that's done. And the one nice thing about this west side area, guys, is I tend to see quite a bit more work done, at least in the last couple of years, as far as things being planted by DNR, Pheasants Forever, things like that. This logging and clear cutting being done. Of course, they're probably doing a bit of a timber harvest, and then at the same time we're getting some of that habitat value, so that's pretty nice. But a surprise, pretty much each year I've been back. My mother lives on this side of the state, so it's nice to come visit her and then get out here and check out the woods. But I noticed things like that, and what was once maybe a spot that I traveled through and come back and you're like, well, maybe I need to go a little further or what have you, because there's some new logging roads and it makes easy access for people. So anyway, so the premise will be here that they get bumped a little further. There's other thick stuff back that way. I just put out 2 cameras on one of my new reveals, so we'll see how that goes. Not a great signal in here. I'm pretty sure they sell a signal booster. That'd be nice, something for me to try out. If you guys have experience with that booster, I think a buddy of mine does have one. Let me know how that's been working for you. Of course, many remote areas you have maybe one bar or something like that. Anyway, so that these deer will be kicked back further into some of this thick stuff. And then there's a little bit of ag. There's quite a bit of ag further out on the road, you know, half mile away, but something immediately bordering this public land in this area. This is like 36,000 acres, guys. So there's so much room here, so much to be able to get out and enjoy and scout and have fun and test some of your skills. So last year did a lot of figuring out, scouted after the season and got, there's deer right there. There's a little buck and a doe. You see the buck? There's more. Another buck, doe. Because of the way I'm holding my phone, I have no idea if you could see that, but you see him? Yeah. Yep. But that was 5 or 6 deer, a couple young ones and 2 smaller bucks. It's exactly what I mean by these clear cuts and this other thick stuff over here. So it is being used. I think when pressure comes though, this is going to be immediately where people are going, busting out, leaving a lot of scent, but something to consider. Anyway, so these deer will be leaving. They'll be making their way through some of the big woods and then out to the ag fields. So if you can be somewhere in between there on some scrapes, outside of those deer, which I believe those young bucks were in velvet. My mother on the way to dinner last night did see a couple other decent, 2.5-year-old 8 points and stuff that were still in velvet as well. So I thought we might see a few rubs and things like that. It's just not the case quite yet. So some of the sign is a little bit, underwhelming right now, spider webs. Anyway, so we'll be back. Some cell cam, another one that's not a cell cam. So we'll get some intel on a previously marked scrape that I had last year. And hopefully maybe even come back and add one onto this clear cut. We have bumped a couple different groups of deer. So if I didn't already say, 36,000 acres. So it's pretty neat, lot to manage. I'm sure even the DNR feels overwhelmed. Also, the thing in my shin, guys, turned out perfectly fine, in case you were curious. No blood clots or anything like that, but good to get it checked out and be certain it was just, for those of you who don't know, just pressure and swelling. It's kind of random. I do get hit in the shin sometimes at the gym from jiu-jitsu, if you guys aren't familiar with that, but it's a lot of fun, and injuries come with that a little bit as well. So hope you guys are having a great Labor Day weekend. Pretty short video today. We're gonna get out here, get the dogs out, enjoy nature, visit the family, and cross your fingers that we get some good intel, which I will bring to you guys during the season. Have a good one.